Hello and welcome to the Sunday Guardian Talk by Joyeeta Basu. Viewers, as you know, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar suddenly resigned on Monday on health grounds, he said, and on doctor's advice in particular, he said. Now, this came as a surprise to almost everyone, I would say, because his programs were planned almost for the next 1.5 weeks, and there was no hint whatsoever that he would resign. And he himself has been saying that he is going to be in his office, going to be in the vice president's office until 2027, when his tenure ends. So what happened exactly that, suddenly he took this step, and that also on the day when Parliament's monsoon session started. So obviously, you see, there is no clear communication on this from the Vice President's office, from either the government as well. And in the meanwhile, today on Tuesday, his resignation has been accepted by President Draupadi Murmu. And as a result of which, when something as big as this happens, when the vice president resigns, not because he has to become, he is the candidate for the presidential post or like that, not because of that, but because of the fact, for some unknown reasons, obviously. So obviously there is going to be a lot of speculation, and that is what has exactly started. I mean, there is speculation. If you go to social media, on X in particular, everybody has a theory. And if you go on television, that's all that everyone is talking about. So you see, I personally feel this could have been avoided if there was a clearer communication also from, not only from the Vice President's office, but also from the government side. All we have got from the government side is a very cryptic tweet by the Prime Minister on X, bidding goodbye to the Vice President. And everybody is a little surprised at the shortness of the tweet, but yes, everyone is wondering what is going on. Now, what exactly is happening? Why did he resign? You see, some of the theories that are kind of doing the rounds, in fact, not one, two, three sources, gradually, I would say, people are coming to the conclusion, or rather, let me put it this way, journalists are coming to the conclusion that this happened over the impeachment of Justice Yashwant Verma of Delhi High Court. You must be remembering how burnt cash was found in his house. And in fact, Jagdeep Dhankhar has been very vocal against the judiciary from different platforms. So exactly what is the theory? I mean, what is being said is that there was supposed to be some kind of a business advisory committee meeting on the first day of Parliament, during which I think the opposition MPs, they had moved a motion, they had given a notice to discuss the impeachment of Justice Yashwant Verma. Now, the Vice President is supposed to have accepted it. Now, which made the government members of that particular business advisory meeting that was held very unhappy, and the government was very unhappy because it seems the government was trying to make this, bring this into the Lok Sabha. It wanted to initiate the process. It wanted to discuss judicial corruption in judiciary. It wanted to discuss reforms in judiciary. Basically, it wanted to initiate. So it's the whole conversation, but it seems the Vice President accepted it, and it apparently after that, that business advisory committee meeting in which the government members the ministers did not attend. After that, it seems, that is what the media reports are saying, that there were calls from ministers to the Vice President, several calls to the Vice President, and there was some kind of maybe exchange of words. We do not know what kind of exchange, of course. And after that, he resigned. But you see, resignation from the post of Vice President just for basically what is a procedural matter. Procedure. They wanted to introduce it first, somebody else introduced it first, and the Vice President accepted it. So everybody is a little taken aback about it. And you see what happens now, so there is some kind of speculation going on in terms of maybe because there was opposition has been completely arrayed against Jagdeep Dhankar. In fact, it wanted to bring this impeachment motion against the vice president, and which of course wouldn't have passed, but then it would have been a black mark on his record. So all this speculation is there. The whole point is, interestingly, what is going to happen now is that the opposition has suddenly become very pro-Dhankar. The opposition, which has been targeting Dhankar all these days, is suddenly very pro-Dhankar, and they are asking questions like, why was he made to leave? Why did he resign? Why isn't the government saying anything? And I have a strong suspicion that what is going to happen now is that, because Jagdeep Dhankar is a Jat, he comes from the Jat community, the opposition, particularly the Congress, is going to play it in terms of, in Rajasthan, he's from Rajasthan, that this is an insult to the Jat community. And they have already started, by the way. Every Congress leader, whoever is talking on camera about Jagdeep Dhankar, they are bringing up his caste affiliations and talking about Jagdeep Dhankar, who is a Jat, he has to resign. So expect a lot of politics on this, and expect a lot of disruption and politics over this factor in Parliament's monsoon session. As for if Vice President Dhankar was asked to, step down, so everyone is wondering why. So the thing is, now we have to see in terms of, I think, the next selection, whoever becomes the vice president, the next pick for vice president, should give us an idea into why, if at all, Jagdeep Dhankar was asked to step down, was requested to step down, or whether he resigned on his own. From his side, of course, he resigned on his own. But yeah, there is a lot of speculation about who the possible next vice president is. There is some talk about, the JDU, I am told, is thinking that Nitish Kumar is going to be the vice president. Now, there is also talk that some senior cabinet ministers from the present government one senior cabinet minister may become the vice president. There is also talk about Shashi Tharoor, the government wanting Shashi Tharoor to become vice president, although I do not understand why Shashi Tharoor would suddenly become a vice president, because vice president, okay, vice president is chairing the Rajya Sabha and all, but to a large extent there is a very ceremonial look about the post, and which is not necessarily always conducive to constructive work. So I do not understand why Shashi Tharoor would like to be vice president. But then vice president is a vice president, big post, an important constitutional post. So in this fog of information, I would say, or lack of information, expect a lot of churn in terms of the monsoon session. Already there is a lot of hullabaloo over Operation Sindoor, that the government should disclose more information on what happened to those supposed jets that were supposedly downed by Pakistan. So I think what is going to happen in the next few days and weeks inside the monsoon session, we can expect a lot of politics over the resignation of Jagdeep Dhankar. And if that is the reason, but at the same time, let's not also forget, maybe he's seriously unwell. That's always a possibility. How can we discount that possibility? So we wish him well. We wish he gets well soon. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.